All right, and we are live. Welcome back for another episode of our Q&A. A lot has been going on lately in our world. We've had a major commitment to fitness lately, actually, and doing things differently, which has been a lot of fun. We've gotten back to an old passion of ours, which is rock climbing, which has been an absolute blast. So, how's that been going for you, Jen? How do you enjoy it?
Um, it's just nice to be back on the wall. I mean, hopefully when the weather gets nicer, and now it's actually starting to get nicer back here, we could do some outdoor climbing as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons we moved here is for an indoor gym close to us that we could train at, as well as access to outdoors. So it'll be nice to get outdoors and do some outdoor rock climbing. So that should be really fun. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, what's the first question of the day? And I think you can agree, Jen, that this is a question we get a lot in the office.
Yeah, because we have a lot of patients in the office that are very active, weekend warriors, gym rats, and all that. Um, we get asked a lot this question: why do I still feel stiff even when I stretch?
Yeah, so it's really interesting in physical medicine or fitness. It just seems to be like the panacea answer is stretching. Like it doesn't matter what you have going on. You're tight, stretch, weak, stretch, poor posture, stretch. You can't sleep, stretch. You want to get bigger, stretch. Like everything, the answer to everything is stretch. And it's funny because I see people on two ends of the spectrum here and that should not be doing much stretching. One end of the spectrum that I see are people that are super flexible already and hypermobile. And they're like, yeah, my doctor told me that I just need to keep stretching. And I say, okay, let me see the stretches that you're doing. And they can basically fold yourself in a pretzel, fold themselves in a pretzel. And I say to them, I go, how much more flexible do you think you need to be in order for your problem to go away? This is ridiculous already. And they're just kind of like, oh, yeah, I get that makes sense. I am pretty flexible. Why do I need to be more flexible than like already too flexible? The other end of the equation are the people that I get that they're really stiff, but it's clear that it's not. I mean, they're stretching all the time and nothing seems to be getting any better. And it's clear that it's not a stretching issue. There's something else going on beyond just stretching. And Gray Cook said it best. And he came up with the functional movement screen, which is a fantastic movement tool. And he wrote a book, a really long book called Movement. And one of the things that he says is that stiffness hides a stability issue. And what it creates is a mobility problem. So it's not like when people think that they're stiff, it's not that they need to do more stretching. A lot of the times, neurologically, your body is reacting to a lack of stability. If you're not stable, then that's going to create stiffness immediately. Like an example is, and I teach this at my movement workshops. An example is for example an extension fault. So let's say your lumbar spine is locked in extension, so it's arched back too much, and you go and you test somebody's hamstring, and it's really tight. And then what I do is I put them in an ideal position and then create the proper type of activation and bracing. And their range of motion in their hamstring usually improves by like 50% immediately. And everyone in the class, I always get, ooh, ah, whenever we do that because they think it's so cool. And it is cool. It's nothing special that I'm doing, except that we're creating just instantly in that moment better stability. When you're more stable, your body can access more positions in a safe way because it's safe to be able to do that. And so most of the people that are spending so much time stretching, their time would be better spent working on stability. And the thing is, this is the last thing, and then I'll let you jump in, Jen. The last thing is that when it comes to stretching, there's really, in my mind, only one purpose for stretching. That purpose is to be able to access full ranges of movements under a load to be able to increase your strength at those full ranges. So when people are to the point where you can access your full range of movement in a safe manner, there's no point in becoming hyper flexible or hyper mobile in those positions. It'd be better to work on building strength and stability within those full ranges. And as long as you access those full ranges on a regular basis, you shouldn't have to be stretching anymore because you already have those ranges. So, what's the point in doing so? And so, I really want you guys to get this, that it's really important that you transform your mindset from stretching for the sole purpose of just stretching and better flexibility to number one, how do I create better stability? How do I create better positioning? We do that a lot through our specific chiropractic adjustments that we deliver. But also, once you gain that stability, then you can work on flexibility in those full ranges and then continue to use those full ranges under load on a regular basis. So I know that was quite a mouthful. If you guys have any questions about that, post them below or you can reach out to us and ask. But it's really, really important that people realize most people have a stability issue, not a flexibility issue.
So what you're trying to
Although
say.
actually, wait, sorry, one last thing. Although a lot of people probably have both, but I would primarily stability and then flexibility.
All right. So just to sum that up, focus or prioritize stability, then flexibility.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I don't. This is really a complex thing. So some people it is flexibility, some people it is stability. Some people need to work on stability and flexibility together simultaneously. And so I can't just say everybody needs to do this or that. It really is kind of a personalized thing. I just really want you guys and everybody to start thinking of stability as well as flexibility.
And also, this is my question. Is flexibility synonymous to mobility?
No, that's a great question. So when you're mobile, you're flexible, but just because you're flexible does not mean that you have good mobility. And so flexibility is passively moving your body through full ranges of motion. Rarely is that really helpful for you, except if you're stretching. What you really want is proper mobility. Like an example is, and I hear about this all the time. People have their kids in their back seat and they're driving, and then they like something falls down or they need to reach something, and they go like this and reach back, and they end up hurting their shoulder. They end up straining their neck. They end up with frozen shoulder or all these types of issues. All day they can take this arm and just do passive flexibility and it's fine. But being able to under load, reach all the way back, pick a textbook up or a lunchbox or a backpack way out of the back seat and then pull it up and over, that is mobility. And so mobility is the ability to access full ranges of movement actively and under load. And so flexibility and mobility are definitely not the same thing. Mobility is definitely our priority.
Okay. All right. That makes sense, actually. All right. Ready to move on to the next question?
Let's do it.
Okay. Next question is this is actually a diet that we've adapted lately. We are on our third week as of now, and patients in the office have been asking us, how is the carnivore-ish diet going? It's going great for me, but you.
Yeah, it's going really well for me as well. There's all different types of ways of doing this. You have all different types of diet. You have paleo, keto, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, and then you have a million named diets. And it depends how you're doing. There's like the lion carnivore diet. You have the nose to tail carnivore diet, and then you have kind of the carnivore-ish diet. And the essentially what when you're like doing the lion diet, that diet is basically you're only eating muscle meat. So if you look at somebody like Sean Baker, he's an orthopedic surgeon and teaches a lot about this kind of stuff. He's a strict carnivore, but from just a meat carnivore perspective. So for the last 5 years, he's been doing only meat. That's it. Nothing else other than pure 100% of his diet is meat. And he's absolutely crushing it. He's in incredible shape. He's one of the strongest 50 something year olds in the world. He's one of the top C2 rowers on the rower. He's one of the top rowers in the world. Smart guy and in incredible shape, and it's worked out great for him. Then you have somebody else like Paul Saladino, who he's known as the Carnivore MD. He started with doing a nose to tail carnivore diet where all he did was animals, and no dairy. So it was all meat as well as organs. So he was doing tons of liver, kidney, heart, pancreas, thymus, I hate to say it, but even testicle as well and regular meat to be able to get in a wide range of nutrients. And he found that he did great on that. His eczema went away. He experienced tremendous health, but he found that after a while, his energy was not where he wanted to be. He was getting some issues with like heart palpitations and stuff like that. And so he started doing some more research. And what he did was he added in basically non-toxic non-meat products. And so the products that are non-meat that people tend to tolerate the most and thrive off of are fruit and honey. And basically, this is going into much longer of an explanation than I was planning on, but bear with me. I'll try to do the abbreviated version on this. If you look at defenses that foods that we eat have, animals can defend themselves with their teeth, with their claws, with that kind of stuff. So they don't really have a lot of toxins that are built into them, where plants do not have the ability to protect themselves. And a lot of them don't want to be eaten because they want to perpetuate themselves out in the world. And so an example is like stems and seeds. Like they don't want to be eaten because they want to continue to multiply and grow. And so they have toxins like oxalates and different types of plant toxins that people can react to that they have as defense mechanisms. The thing that doesn't have a defense mechanism, though, that wants to be eaten is the fruit portion, because you eat the fruit, you poop out the seeds, and it'll grow more plants. And it does nothing. When you pick a piece of fruit, it does nothing to kill the plant, unlike pulling its root or eating its seeds. And so people, through doing lots of research on this stuff, what people have been finding is that people that are very sensitive to certain foods do really well on a meat diet that also includes fruit and honey for other nutrients and carbohydrates that the body reacts to very easily, like digest very easily. And both Jen and I have had some digestive issues, and where we've gotten bloating and just discomfort from eating a lot too many plant foods. So we decided to test out doing more of an elimination diet, more of a carnivore-ish type diet. So the majority of our diet, I would say 95% of our diet over the past few weeks has been meat and fruit and a little bit of honey. And we cheated last night or the other night on sushi. But other than that, we've stuck mostly to the majority meat and then some very easy to digest fruit. And I've overall felt great. I've lost probably 5 pounds over the past 2 or 3 weeks and still eating a lot of food. And on top of that, I felt great. So I was getting some bloating and some gas pains and stuff like that. And I've had almost no gas, no bloating. Even like I've noticed that maybe this is TMI, but I'll share anyway. But I noticed that I haven't even really needed to use deodorant lately, and I could work out and still not smell. And if I smelled, Jennifer would tell me. And so I haven't had like that is improved, and I've just felt so much better. So it's been working out really well for us. And so if anybody has any questions about that, I'd be more than happy to answer. And I have so much that I could say on this subject about food and meat and uh, the best way to eat it, where to get it from, just a whole laundry list of stuff. But I'll leave it at that for now. It's been working out really, really well for us.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Jen?
Yeah, it's been working really well for me as well. I do not have any more bloating. I actually have more energy. Like this morning I woke up when before we did this diet, when I would do my 5 a.m. workouts, at this time of the day I'll be like flat tired. Right now that I haven't had too much carbs. Only my carb now only comes from whatever fruit we've had. Um and I still have energy. I'm still like, it seems like it's just the beginning of the day for me, as opposed to having rice in the morning or for lunch, for example. At this time of the day I'll be so sleepy. So that's one thing that I've noticed is my energy levels have improved, definitely. No bloating and energy levels, so those are the two things. And I've also lost a couple of pounds, so getting ready for summer.
Yeah, if you know how much Jen loves to take her afternoon naps, especially with an early workout, this has been very impressive. So it's uh it's been a great journey. We love experimenting and then sharing those experiments with you guys to see what works and what doesn't work. And so if you have any questions, just post them below or reach out to us. We always enjoy sharing with the community. And I don't think I'm all set. Do you have anything else you wanted to share, Jen?
Nothing else. I think we're good. If you have any questions about that type of diet, what it looks like, the benefits of it, because I also get a lot of questions from patients like, but what about this type of nutrient that you can only get from plants? So just message us, comment on this live, and we'll get back at you.
Cool. Sounds good. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.